A 43-year-old Gulf Coast resident suffers a stroke shortly after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. But medical experts say linking the two events will be difficult, if not impossible. COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker tells us why.
As Johnson & Johnson shots are pulled out of circulation, it's understandable that people will associate the shots with adverse health effects. The shots were paused after 6 women in the U.S. suffered from blood clots after getting vaccinated. And that is similar to what happened to one Mississippi man just last week. 43-year-old Gulf Coast resident Brad Malagary had a stroke and is now in the hospital. And people have been quick to link his condition to the vaccine. But State Health Department spokesperson Liz Charlotte says strokes are not associated with the Johnson shots, and what happened to those women may be slightly different than what's happening here. Charlotte says a rare blood clotting disorder called cerebral venous sinus thrombosis caused the reactions in those women, and the shots were pulled out of an abundance of caution. A federal advisory panel is still gathering more information about these cases before those shots go back into circulation. But as for what happened in Mississippi, health officials say strokes are actually associated with COVID-19 infections and not the COVID-19 vaccines. About 795,000 Americans suffer a stroke every year, but health officials say they have not linked any cases to these shots and are more likely coincidental than cause and effect. Now, Brad's family members say that Brad did suffer from high blood pressure, which means the blood is pushing against the sides of his arteries at a greater force than it should be. And according to the American Heart Association, high blood pressure causes heart attack, kidney failure, and stroke. Mississippi is in what the CDC calls the stroke belt of the U.S., where the highest percentage of strokes per population happen in the country every year. Now, the state sees about 98.8 strokes for every 100,000 residents. That's compared to the national rate of 72 strokes per 100,000 people. So this is why doctors are now looking very closely at what happened to Brad, because if they can rule out his underlying condition, then they can really start tracing any possible link to the vaccine. But right now, they say the connection is unlikely. I'm COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker reporting.